it is TsubakiSwagg, and I'm coming to you with my review of Naruto Shippuden episode 348, The New Akatsuki. It pretty much picks up where the last one left off at, where they're explaining how the Akatsuki, pretty much explaining how Obito had a hand in making the Akatsuki the way it is now, or the way it was. So, in this episode, they show like Yahiko and Nagato talking, and Yahiko pretty much tells Nagato that he is going to be the new leader of the Akatsuki because he has such an immense power because he has the Rinnegan now. And Nagato was pretty much like, you're always going to be the leader of the Akatsuki because Yahiko pretty much was the face of the Akatsuki. He was the reason why they are the way they are. But Yahiko really wasn't having that. But they received a message from Hanzo telling them that he was going to let them pretty much take over making the villages safe. Like, he was pretty much going to let them take over and let them do what they do, do what they were doing, like behind closed doors, let them be able to do it out in the open. So he was pretty much going to let them be able to use their tactics to stop war by peace out in the open and not just have to do it without anybody really knowing about it. And they were so ecstatic about this. They were happy, and they threw a party, and they were eating everything, and they went to sleep. And Nagato was standing out on a balcony, and of course Obito comes up and he starts talking to him and telling him that he is pretty much going to understand the real meaning of pain, and like all of Yahiko's ideals are just that, they're just ideals and they're never going to come true and blah blah blah. And Nagato of course stood up for Yahiko because Yahiko is his best friend and they're comrades. So Yahiko of course is going to stand behind, well, Nagato's of course going to stand behind Yahiko, and Obito's like, you're going to understand the true meaning of pain. So Obito vanished in a way that only Obito can, and Yahiko came up and he was pretty much like, was there anybody else? Were you talking to somebody? And Nagato was like, no. But in that, Nagato said that they needed to go have their meeting with Hanzo because all of the Akatsuki couldn't go, because if all of them went, then that would of course throw Hanzo off seeing so many people when he really only wanted to talk to Yahiko. So in that, they cut scenes to Conan because of course Yahiko asked about where Conan was, and Nagato told him that Conan was scouting somewhere. So they cut to her and she's like walking through the village that they had previously walked through before, where those people had gotten attacked. And out of nowhere, she's like checking dead bodies on the ground, and they explode some kind of sleeping gas, which knocks her out. And then they show like some of Hanzo's associates saying that they're about to secure the hostage now. So then it cuts back to Yahiko and Nagato like going to meet Hanzo, and the other members of the Akatsuki get a message telling them that Anbu, the Hidden Leaf's Anbu, is supposed to be meeting with Hanzo at the same time as well. And they know that there's something wrong with this, so everyone else that is in the Akatsuki went to go like warn Yahiko and Nagato. But of course they get stopped by Obito and Zetsu, and Obito pretty much tells them that they can't, he's not going to let them move forward, that things have to happen the way they're going to happen, because of course Obito already knows what's going to happen. So Obito pretty much takes out the Akatsuki, like, well, him and Zetsu take out the rest, like literally the rest of the Akatsuki. Like, there were no survivors. He killed every last one of them. And then after he killed all of them, he went to the spot where Yahiko and Nagato were, so he could pretty much watch his plan play out. and they show Nagato and Yahiko standing in kind of like a crater, and they show Hanzo and all his people and all of the Anbu's people and Danzo standing like on the cliff. So it turned out that the person whose name is Kanzo came to bring them the message from Hanzo was actually Danzo. So Danzo is one sneaky motherfucker, and he is getting on my last nerve. I just wish that Danzo would die. Well, I am like at this point I would be like I wish Danzo would die, but of course we all know that Sasuke killed him, which was the best, like one of the best parts of Naruto. But after that, Hanzo pretty much gives Nagato an ultimatum, and he throws a kunai down there, and he tells him to kill Yahiko, and if he doesn't kill Yahiko, then they were going to kill Konan, because Konan was their hostage. So Nagato picks up the kunai, and Yahiko pretty much throws himself into the kunai to kill him, so that way Nagato doesn't have to, but Nagato pretty much had to watch his best friend die. So Konan like fell to the ground, and Nagato just went ham. He was pissed, and I don't blame him, but he summoned the Getomazos and just sucked everybody's soul out that was there. And of course the last person that was left was Hanzo, and he used, right as Nagato was about to take his soul Hanzo used a teleportation jutsu and left the scene. So they showed Konan holding Yahiko, and Nagato pretty much just laughing, and pretty much then after that they showed Nagato like in the little tree that he was, where they first showed him when Naruto came to confront him, and this is when Pain is finally introduced into the story, and this is how Pain was pretty much introduced, and it was all because of Obito and Danzo's. I hate Danzo, but it's really all Danzo's fault. The reason why all this stuff has happened is because of Danzo and Obito. So that was pretty much the end of the episode, and it was a really good episode. I was waiting for this episode to get animated, but it was really sad that Yahiko had to die that way. But it's not okay, but it was relevant to the story seeing this. So for those of you who don't read the manga, I would like to hear what y'all think is going to be happening in the near future. But as always, please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.